Welcome to Rathalos Watch. Today I am going to be showing you 22 random incredible gameplay and cosmetic details during my playtime with beta that I've really enjoyed. This is not a full in-depth preview impressions or anything like that though. That will be a whole different dedicated video that will be much longer. So this is just something for you guys to hold you over while I'm out of town the next few days. The footage you'll be seeing here is directly captured from the PC version of Monster Hunter Wilds in the open beta at full native 4K at over 100 FPS at full high-end settings, running without any sort of AI assistance for the resolution or frame rates. The PC is equipped with a Ryzen 9 7950X and a NVIDIA 4090 RTX GPU with 32GB of DDR5 RAM. Enjoy the high quality, uncompromising footage. If you are looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds coverage or just Monster Hunter in general, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on and don't forget to join our Discord community. Link is in a pinned comment. Without further ado, let's begin. Detail number 22. In the village you can actually find a baby secret that looks quite adorable. There are also juvenile Dalthodons that you can find in the wild. And yes, if you are an evil individual, you may actually kill a baby Dalthodon if you strike it enough with your weapon. For some reason, they have quite a bit of HP. Detail number 21. The barrel bombs are a massive upgrade compared to previous generations of Monster Hunter. I love the fact that you can pick them up now and actually toss them towards monsters or another barrel. In this example, I put Chatacabra to sleep with my heavy bowgun sleeping ammo so I don't have to waste a trap on him. Then, I put one barrel next to him and then tossed the second and boom, it's just a lot of fun. Does a fuck ton of damage. I'm going to use this tech for future hunts and you shoot as well. Detail number 20. The Cameranatoth have a symbiosis with endemic life creatures known as the Knothpeckers. The Knothpeckers just perch up and chill on their backs and make clicking noises with their beaks. It's kind of a hilarious thing to witness. While it doesn't change the gameplay in any way, it makes the overall experience more immersive and interesting. And yes, you can capture them with your capture net as well. Detail number 19. The animations for gathering materials like minerals and bones have been completely redone and they look fantastic. For mining, the hunter first taps the ore with a small pickaxe, and each time they gather again, they pick up the minerals directly with their hands. It's a small change, but a welcome one, and I really like it. Hunters now also actually pick up bones from bone piles instead of just waving their hands repeatedly. These updates add more realism, enhancing immersion. Lastly, there are also gathering animations while you are on your sacred. Detail number 18. During my hunting journey, I was able to spot a lot of new endemic life that I could capture with my net. Yes, if you did not know this, or this is your first time here with Monster Hunter, you can indeed capture endemic life in Monster Hunter Wilds, just like you did in Monster Hunter World. In here, I capture a new monster called the Wind Rustler. There's also a rare black version of them that you can find and capture as well. I can't wait to see what else is out there in the rest of the locales. Detail number 17. I finally got a closer look at the Balakchi and I just love their designs. They are also confirmed to be Neopterans via in-game's description, and if you haven't noticed, they have green blood as you can see here in the clip. They do have a grab attack that pins you down and then they suck your blood dry. It's actually quite unsettling, but it's both hilarious and creepy to watch. If this is just a small Neopteran, I can only imagine what the large ones will do. I really hope there's some sort of a large version of the Balakchi or something similar. Detail number 16. The fact that hunters can now place traps and then later remove them and replace them at a new spot is a massive quality of life change that took way too long for Capcom to do. Thankfully, it's better late than never. Now I don't have to worry about wasting my traps. If the monster leaves or flies out of the area, I can save my materials and repurpose the trap for later use. Detail number 15. Gunlance is looking mighty fine. I've never used it in Monster Hunter World, but based on what I heard from other people playing the beta, it generally has gotten positive feedback, so I decided to try out for myself. While I am not an expert at using this weapon, I found it very fun due to its sound design, all the explosions, and playstyle. I really want to learn it now and get better at it. It just sounds so meaty every time you fire at a monster with the charged shots. Also, the focus mode attack with the drill is just incredible. Detail number 14. The character creator is actually kind of wild. There's a ton of customization here, and you can get lost for hours easily. I've decided to go for my female hunter that you all saw in my Shoot X Monster Return series back from July. It is the one with two pigtails, except here I gave her red demonic looking eyes with some dark makeup. I wanted her to look frightening but hot at the same time while slaying monsters. Let me know what you all think of her design in the comments. Detail number 13. You can get struck by lightning in the fallow period, which is actually kind of dope since the storm is so unpredictable, and yes, monsters can get struck by random lightning as well. I love small details like these. It makes the world a lot more believable and realistic. Detail number 12. Corpses actually rot over time. This raid owl that I just slayed eventually turned into a decomposed carcass with flies and insects flying over its body. It's small details like these that make you truly appreciate the love and care that Capcom has put into Monster Hunter Wilds. Detail number 11. Partway through the tutorial, just before facing Chatacabra, players can speak with Alma and answer a few questions about their preferred playstyle. This is a clever addition and an unexpected move from Capcom. Essentially, new players can chat with Alma, answer various questions, and based on their response, Alma suggests a weapon that might suit their style. This feature is especially helpful for newcomers who might feel overwhelmed by the choice of 14 different weapons, making the game more accessible and easing the learning curve. Detail number 10, being able to change the direction of your true charge slash with a Greatsword using focus mode is absolutely insane, especially when you can combine it with your tackle that skips an entire step and gets you there quicker. Here in this clip, I'm making an absolute mess of the Chatacabra. Some people think that this makes the Greatsword too easy, but in my opinion, I believe it makes it more fun while still maintaining a certain level of skill. You will still need to learn monster patterns and behavior to their fullest if you want to be proficient with the weapon at a high level. What do you think of the changes for the Greatsword? Let me know in the comments. Detail number 9. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you'll know that Balahara is my least favorite monster. However, after hunting him quite a few times in Monster Hunter Wilds open beta, I actually think he's pretty good. Some people did complain though that he is too wiggly and can be annoying to fight if you are a melee user, and I can probably agree with that to a certain extent. However, if you are using a ranged weapon, it's a lot more fun if you ask me, and more manageable to fight him. I killed him with a variety of weapons including a hammer, longsword, and switch axe. I did find the lance probably the best melee weapon against him though. I think fighting him with a hammer was the most annoying out of all the melee weapons due to him moving his head so much and wiggling around all the time. Detail number 8, mounting in the game feels a lot more fun and useful now than it did in previous games if you ask me personally. I love hopping off my sacred and then jumping on top of the monster at the start of the battle and then mounting it. When you are mounted, you can start stabbing the monster until the wounds are created. Once you create one wound, you can switch to a different part of the body and do it again and create more wounds. The wound system is an important part of the game's new combat system and plays a big role in how you strategize against the monster. If you are good enough, you can open up all the 3 wounds depending on the monster. Some have 3, others have 2. Balahara, for example, has a wound on top of their head, then the middle part of their back, and the far back near the tail, and the same for Doshiguma. That is a ton of wounds that you can create from a single mounting phase for massive damage. Detail number 7, did you know you can actually teabag monsters now? In Monster Hunter Wilds, there's a fun new cosmetic detail that lets you climb on top of a monster's corpse during the carving phase. If you spam the X button on your DualSense controller, it looks just like a teabag animation. This totally brings me back to the classic Halo 3 days on the Xbox 360. I thought this was absolutely hilarious. Detail number 6, it seems now that the regular crafting materials and the high rank plus versions are also in the early part of the game. On top of that, there's a new certificate item that you can get for every monster apparently at the end of the hunt. Previous games had this as well, but only for very specific monsters, and it seems Capcom has decided to create a certificate for all the monsters now. I'm not sure what their reasoning was for that, but I'm sure we will find out when the game comes out. On top of that, why are there plus versions of the materials in a low rank? If anyone has any information or guesses, let me know. I do find this interesting and unusual. Perhaps it has something to do with the purple star system, since the higher purple stars make the monsters have more HP and they are also more aggressive. Detail number 5, the heavy bowgun feels amazing in my opinion. I love its sound effects, and on top of that, I was quite concerned that Monster Hunter would lack blood effects, but thankfully the blood splatter is much better than it was in Monster Hunter World, and shooting a group of tail off just feels great. Another weapon that I believe that has gotten a lot of praise both by the community and myself. Detail number 4, if you fight Doshiguma in the grassland section of the Windward Plains, which is northeast of the map, he will actually throw corpses of small monsters at you. I don't think anything like that has been done before, or if it has, I do not remember it. Regardless, it makes a lot of sense for a creature of that size to fling monster carcasses at hunters. It makes the world, again, feel more alive, real, and dangerous. Detail number 3, Switch Axe has a new move now where you can do a counter attack if you can perfectly time it. It's an offset move to be exact. If you are good at knowing the monster and are able to count the animation frames visually in front of you, you can get some insane results and a ton of dopamine. I used to hate the Switch Axe in Monster Hunter Wilds. It is a weapon that never clicked with me, but after giving it a few hours in Monster Hunter Wilds, I found it phenomenal and just a ton of fun. Can't wait to practice more ahead of launch. Detail number 2, both Myrnos and Aptonoth were both spotted in one of the main villages in Monster Hunter Wilds. And yes, we finally got an in-game look at Aptonoth, the original classic herbivore monster from the very start of Monster Hunter that you kill to learn the cooking mechanic in the original game in 2004. To be 100% honest, I'm a bit disappointed with how Aptonoth looks. There's just something off about their in-game model, or maybe I'm just going crazy. Let me know what you think about Aptonoth in the comment section. Detail number 1, last but not least, there's a good possibility that Zone 4 in the Windward Plains is some sort of a nesting area, or rather a lair of an unrevealed monster. You can get there by using your sacred to climb up. You'll eventually come across a pile of bones, and if you go further into the area, you'll start seeing a ton of bone piles. Maybe this is some sort of a bird wyvern that is a vulture and it just brings whatever it can and consumes it. If you exit the area and go to the right, you'll end up finding a camp set up. I find this kind of odd considering it being this close to a potential lair of a monster, but then again, plenty of the camps that you can set up already are not free from danger by roaming monsters such as Doshiguma or Chatacabra. And yes, I know Cumatrus exists and he's technically a chicken, but he is a brute wyvern and he would not be climbing up there to go there. He does not have wings to fly either. This lair is up on an elevated location. Cumatrus is a scavenger and is constantly looking for food wherever he goes, but Zone 4 forest full of bone piles, meaning that something brings them in there and then eats them all in one location. Let me know what you think of a potential nest area and if you believe it could lead to a potential new bird wyvern. And those were all the random incredible gameplay and cosmetic details that I wanted to talk about today. Let me know which one is your favorite, or if you've encountered something that was interesting to you during your hunting adventures in Monster Hunter Wilds open beta test in the comments below. Stay tuned for more Monster Hunter Wilds content. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe with notifications turned on. Peace out and happy hunting.